Yeah, yeah. This is Ron. It's I guess it's Wednesday, isn't it? So, no, it's only Tuesday. I guess I was hoping it's Wednesday. So after my ER visit on Friday, and I found out later that it says on the internet that um, this condition is called vena cava syndrome, and if it presents in the ER, it's considered non-emergency. Okay, I don't know that, and I don't know what I have. I only know that I have flu-like symptoms, and I can't lean forward without passing out. And bending over is like no, no. And I can't breathe, and my face is swollen. It's not as bad now, but my neck is swollen. And it's not as bad now because now I've read about it, and I know that I can't sleep flat. I have to sleep sitting up. And as long as I'm sitting up, then there's flow or drip through my other veins to get all that unoxygenated blood back to the heart. That's why I'm struggling from room to room, wherever I go, getting the cats fed, doing dishes, whatever it is I'm doing. I become completely exhausted because my heart rate starts to shoot up and the blood's not flowing. Yeah, that's not good. So I found out that there is an option for me other than radiation, excuse me, which I'm not appreciative of. I'm not. It's the abomination. I don't need to be taking that in my body. So we could put a stent in my vena cava. And I said, okay, I can do that. That's a good one, a good measure. And it doesn't cure anything, but it eliminates all this pressure and it lets things flow. Well, I guess that's a cure, but it doesn't cure what's causing it. No, but from there, I think that we can address some other things that I can't differentiate as long as this is going on. So I'm going to stop my immunotherapy. I get to see the doctor tomorrow. And I called on Monday. First, I called on Saturday, left a message with the answering service. Then on Monday, um, I called again and left a message just in case. But then a lady called me from another department, said they left a message on her desk. Doesn't belong to her. So she said she'd just walk it on over to the girls at oncology. So I thanked her, and then I didn't hear back at all, and it was already 12 noon, 11, getting 11 o'clock, 11:30. So I called and said that I might have missed the call, but I didn't miss the call. And that don't worry about it. We left a message with the nurse, and then they never called me back. And I said it's an emergency, but it's not an emergency because they're trained to not recognize this sort of thing as an emergency. Now my arms are swelled up. They're not terribly as bad as they were, but they're pinching off because they're not getting blood flow through the vena cava to release all that excess. And so my hands are falling asleep. Even laying at my side, my hands go cold and numb, and then they fall asleep. And it takes a while for them to come back. So you have to address this right away. This is not something I could deal with. This is not something that you let the patient suffer through day and day and day and day and day and day and not do anything about it. So yesterday, Monday, was 7 days total that I've been suffering through this, not knowing, well, confused, but finding out on Friday what it is. And now I'd like him to know, that he can see the CT scan, and he can make an assessment, and I'm sure he's going to say, "Oh, let's get you back on chemo." Well, I can't breathe, and I can't move from one room to the next. I can't walk up and down stairs anymore. So how is this? How can we go through with this? We need to put in a stent, otherwise, my heart's going to fail, and I'm already getting chest pains, terrible jolts across my chest. Of course, that could be the chemo too. Or it could be the immunotherapy that's fucking me over because it's just wanting to elucidate my bones to hurt like hell as it produces white blood cells. So I have to really pull the rein on this. It's too much. It's too much expression on the body that if I don't have support, if I don't have anybody there to support me, well, then I could end up dying prematurely. I mean, not that I want to, no, but I certainly don't want to face uh, the extreme pain that I've been going through. How ridiculous. My throat feels like strep, but they tested me for strep, and it's all part of this vena cava thing, you know, getting the flow out of my head. Yeah, it's a good thing I got a big head. And look at these fat cheeks. I never had such fat cheeks in my life. Come on, man, there's something wrong. And he's checked me out enough times that he should be able to see me and know, oh yeah, you're pretty swelled up. Not as bad as I was. I was so bad the other day. You saw me. I was so, it's like, good Lord. But the whole side of my head hurts and behind my ear. Of course it does. It's backing up. It's like a big bruise. It's bad enough I bruise so easily. So, other than that, I just also finished lunch. I didn't eat lunch, but I finished making lunch. And it's sitting on the stove and it's waiting for, I don't know, I'll heat up the oven about quarter to 11. And then I'll pop it in for about 45 minutes. It's a casserole, Mexican casserole. So Jeff will enjoy that. But at least that'll put food in the refrigerator for the next 2 days. And I don't have to do anything. Because he's not feeding me. I have to feed myself. And he's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll feed myself. Yeah, well, who's going to feed me? Right? Oh, okay. And he wanders off. He doesn't really respond to that. It's like, why don't you fix me a sandwich? Why don't you fix me a hamburger? Why don't you take care of it? But he's not there yet. No, Jeff doesn't do that sort of thing. Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time trying to find someone to take care of things for him. It's not even gonna be around. Not like this. Not after this. No way. There's no way. Besides, who wants to be in a world where, you can't say anything truthful without being shut down? I mean, look, Candace Owens gets shut down by some measly excuse that she interviewed someone that said something that would be racist. Oh, please. This is America. We don't play the fucking socialist game. We don't play the social media game. YouTube wants to play the game that they're in control. Well, they suck, right? How much for this? How much for this? Well, for Jew, it's $3. Well, how much for him? Yeah, we know how that goes, right? They say, oh, that's just so racist. Well, it's not a race, honey, it's a religion. Wake up. There's enough out there to figure that out. And religions are like cults. And now this religion of what? Brotherly love is ready to go after Lebanon and anybody else that stands in their way on their way to Iran because they've always wanted that war just so they can prove themselves biblically. Well, I'm sorry, honeys. You're going to get hurt because you ain't God's chosen people. You never were. No, and you say that we only worship the one God, but you keep calling him Hashem. Hashem, the spirit and the breath of Shem. Well, that's just a man. It's probably I am. Throw a blanket over him. Yeah, we know the Joker. So, anyways, I'm gonna go back to bed for a little while. I have a timer set so I can wake up if I do. And yeah, I'm exhausted. And today's the 10th, and with that eight, the nine to the eight, that control of our emotions, which I need to do, especially around the doctor because he's so kind, and beg him for mercy, because it's just my life. That's all. And makes the nine, which is the spirit. So today's about the spirit. And so it's either to give or to take. Yeah. You want a caretaker? He'll drag you know, he'll put you in a box. Want a caregiver? Well, he'll give you a box of candies. So there's a difference. There is. And hey, just checking in. I'll let you know tomorrow how that goes. And hopefully it's something we can schedule right away or get evaluated for scheduling right away so that I can have relief. So I can have blood flow again. And it's the constriction on the heart, on that venous cava that causes me to cough. Yeah. And it makes me spit up blood. Yeah, because I cough too hard. Yeah, my lungs are full of cancer that is not responding to chemo or immunotherapy. No, it's not. No matter how much he wants to be in denial over it or not tell me what he's expecting next, I sort of figure that he expected this to happen to me, but with no warning. Maybe because he didn't want me to put thought behind it. Let's see how it happened. But well, I had no idea what was happening to me. And then to be treated like that in the ER, as if I had done something wrong for walking into your frigging ER. Well, honey, I ain't going to use my PCP because they have their heads stuck up their asses that they can't even take a urine sample. Well, I don't know what kind of clinic they're running with a bunch of interns making a whole lot of money. Well, I ain't going to show up there, honey, to help you make your money. No, just like I'm not going to do any more treatments until this is addressed. I need this addressed right away. Otherwise, I can't function. Can't breathe. My head is so full. My shoulders are so full. My back hurts. My chest hurts. My throat hurts. My head hurts. And then I get these jolting pains that run through my joints, all through my body. Well, what is that from, honey? The cancer? No, it's probably the immunotherapy. But no one's telling me this. So how do I recognize when something's wrong? How do I recognize when I need help? Well, I could call for an appointment and then wait 2 days before I finally hear back from someone, finally get an appointment. Well, that's ridiculous. Or wait for my regular scheduled every 21 days. Well, that's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, he wants to pull the blood just to watch the immunotherapy numbers, as long as I keep my white blood count, but I'm still a little anemic, it seems. And everything's below the number except for my sugars. My sugars are. But I didn't eat anything all for hours before I went to the ER. So they consider that a fasting reading, and it was 107. That's not very high. And I figure with my system the way it is, it's probably it's probably only natural that it would have a spike as it's trying to digest what? Through pain? Your stomach doesn't really digest well in pain. My belly hurts. It does. There's not enough oxygen. From the venous cava goes right down next to your stomach and your digestion. Yeah. So that the deoxygenated blood can get back to the heart to fill with oxygen. That's why breathing's so bad, trying to get oxygen. One of the recommendations is to put the patient on oxygen as a supplement so that they're getting the extra boost that they need. But that's only in a watch and wait situation when they're trying to figure out why the vena cava is constricted. Because there's other reasons why these things happen. It's not just from my cancer. But I'm beyond the wait and watch. I know what I have. There's no reason to wait and watch. No, otherwise they'll harm me. So hopefully this will make sense tomorrow. And I hate to be such an inconvenience to the poor man. Um, I hate to be an inconvenience to any poor man. Why? There's all the crying babies. He must have a little typing fit. I'm kidding. He's right up here. He's looking for something. What is it, honey? Mimo. What, honey? He's such a tiny little thing. Yeah. Okay. Let me let you go and say a prayer for Candace that she gets back on her feet, and say a prayer for the horrible rabbi, whatever his name is. What is his name again? I can't even remember. What a pain in the ass he was. She debated him right off that floor. She smeared him like a queer. Smear the queer. Yeah. And now they'll do anything in their power to shut her down. Yeah, because it's not their voice. And they don't like to be told they're wrong. But they're wrong. The whole world is going to see it. They are not God's chosen people. Yeah, sad to say. So, what was his name? Schmuck? Rabbi Schmuck? Oh, it's got to be something like Shmuley. Yeah, there you go. Rabbi Schmuckley. Oh, ridiculous. Bless you, Candace. Stay strong. Okay. Bye, y'all.